Hey there, hiker friends. Welcome to Hike Life. I'm Matt O, and today we're going to talk about first aid kits. Wah, wah, wah. If you're going to be out in the woods for any length of time, you should carry some sort of first aid kit. It doesn't have to be big, kind of depends on if you're going out for several days or if you're just going out for a few hours. You just kind of have to tailor it to your needs and how long you're going to be out there. So, this is my first aid kit. It's not real big. This is what I take when I'm going on a backpacking trip where I'm going to be gone for at least one night, maybe two or three, depending on what's going on. If I am just going over for a day and going to be back the same night or that night, then I take something a little bit smaller, and because I'm not expecting to be out real far and hoping I don't get hurt very bad, although you can just be out for just a day and still get hurt kind of bad. So anyway, I'm just going to kind of dive into what I got here, give a short explanation of everything, and why I have it, and because most of it's pretty self-explanatory. You guys are probably smart. I'm assuming so. Of course, you're watching me. You got to be smart. So most of this you can figure out, but I just want to explain what I have. Quick explanation as to why I've got it, and you can decide whether you need it or not, and maybe you've got some ideas about stuff that you carry and think that everybody should have. So we'll get into it. So I've got this thing here. It's called a SAM splint, and it's light. It's pretty long, and it's got this real thin aluminum metal in the middle of it, and of this padding, and it's for splinting wounded extremities, twisted ankles. You can use it on broken arms, broken legs. Super handy. It's light, and I like to carry it with me, just in case I twist an ankle or break a leg or break an arm, because really your most bug crawling on my neck. Your typical injuries backpacking are going to be some sort of twisted joint, usually an ankle, a few cuts, some bruises, minor cuts and scrapes, and that's really all you're going to get into. But every once in a while, you could hurt yourself real bad, and this would come in handy if you break a bone or something like that. Now into my bag, I've also got Ace bandage. This is the 4-inch kind, and again, it's just for wrapping up an ankle, wrapping up a wrist. You could also use this as a pressure dressing if you got cut real bad and needed to hold pressure on that wound to stop the bleeding. So this has several uses, and you can use this to help this stay in place. So these kind of work together. By the way, you don't have to carry a SAM splint. I would recommend carrying this, but there's a lot of things you can use out in woods to make yourself a splint, sticks, your trekking poles. So this is not 100% necessary. If you're like, hey, I don't want to carry that, don't carry it. I would recommend this though. Now I've got a little piece of cardboard with, I think I've got 10 feet of duct tape on here. Now this is, I guess you'd call this my emergency bag more than my first aid kit, because I've got more than just first aid stuff. This is for, well, you can use this for anything. If you have ever watched MacGyver, you know that you can use this from splinting up a finger to building a bomb that will take down an Al-Qaeda terrorist. Oh yes. Moleskin. A friend of mine introduced this to me years ago. I just got the cheap brand, Equate brand at Walmart, and in here is these nice little padded things that you can cut with scissors or your knife to patch up blisters. That's another common injury when you're backpacking hiking, is blisters on your feet. So you start getting a hot spot. Hopefully you notice it before it turns into a blister. You cut this to fit, put it on that hot area or that blister, and it really pads that area while you're walking and makes it a lot more comfortable. And sometimes blisters can really slow you down or even stop you depending on how bad they are. So carry some moleskin, super cheap. This is like $3. I think my whole kit probably cost me under 20 bucks, I bet. Maybe 25, I don't remember. I also have a couple of things, KT tape. This stuff's really handy too for blisters also, or if you get a cut, you can use it like a band-aid. KT tape is super handy for lots of different stuff. I've almost thought about getting rid of my moleskin in favor of the KT tape because it's lighter and smaller, and it sticks really well, but I haven't been able to give up the moleskin yet. Let me know what you think about that. And then I've got a package of a few Band-Aids right here. You know what those are for. I think I may have half a dozen. I honestly don't remember using a Band-Aid. I may only need to have 2 in here. I hardly ever use Band-Aids, but they're there just in case. And then, just in case I have to help somebody else, I got this cool little pill pouch with 1 pair of gloves. If I got to work on myself, I'm not too worried about keeping it all clean, but if I've got a buddy, or maybe I come across another hiker that's hurt and they need some help, I've got a pair of gloves to protect them and to protect me. And the pill pouches you can get like at CVS or Walgreens. You get a whole bunch of them for hardly any money at all. They're a great little first aid kit item. In here, let me take this out. I took a piece of 550 cord, parachute cord, and made something that I can use as a tourniquet in case I get cut really bad. I don't really want to carry a real tourniquet because they're big and bulky and weigh quite a bit more than this, and I don't anticipate getting cut that bad, but I do have something just in case. And on that note, I've got QuikClot. This one is sponsored by the Hulk, so obviously it's the best. Got it at Walmart, so a couple packets of QuikClot just in case I get cut real bad again. Don't anticipate it, but if you need it and don't have it, Then inside this little Altoids can, I emptied out the Altoids, and I put a few other items. A little thing of Neosporin, just a little one dose package. I've got some ibuprofen in case I get a headache. Just a little bit of ibuprofen. I've marked how many milligrams, and I think I've got 10 in there. Now remember, this is in case if I'm overnighting for a couple of nights, and maybe I have a headache a couple of nights in a row. I don't get them often, but when I get a headache, I really like to have some ibuprofen. Benadryl. This is in case I get an allergic reaction. I do get some allergies. If I get a bee sting and stuff starts going bad, I want to have some way to combat that. So I've got some Benadryl. A little bit of Imodium. Again, these are in those cool little pouches. Those pill pouches. A little bit of Imodium in case I run into some bad water and don't clean it properly somehow. And that way I'm not getting dehydrated through diarrhea, because that can be a bad problem if you're way out in the woods. Some tape for taping up wounds. A tweezer. You know what tweezers are for. Don't need to explain it. I've got fingernail clippers. Again, no explanation necessary. Well, a little explanation. If you're walking for miles and miles and miles, and one of your toenails goes haywire, you want to have a way to take care of it. So that's why that's in there. I've got a little thing of super glue, and that's in case I get a cut that's really hard to close up. Not so bad that it needs stitches, but needs a little more holding power than a Band-Aid. You can use super glue. That'll hold it together, a little bit of KT tape, and it'll hold that wound shut so it doesn't get dirt all in it. I've got a couple of knuckle bandages, and Oh, I want to show you this little item. Right there, I've got a needle. I actually have two. I've got a couple needles for sewing up items that get ripped. I have this real big one because one time my shoe fell apart several miles into the woods and I had to sew it up. So the needle came in super handy, and you can also use them for helping getting out a splinter or whatever. You know, needles are good to have around. So anyway, that's my first aid kit, guys. Nothing super fancy. I may have more in there than some of you think I might need. I may have not enough. Leave some comments. Let me know what you think I should get rid of. Let me know what you think I should have. And I may or may not change it, but at least we talked about it a little bit, and I always like to hear ideas from other people. Looking at my kit, I'm kind of like, man, I should get that a little bit smaller, but honestly, it doesn't weigh very much. It doesn't take up a lot of room in my pack, so I don't know. Anyways, leave me some comments. Hit the little like button on the side. Subscribe if you already haven't, and hit the bell. That'll let you get a notification every time I put out a video. Thanks for you guys who have subscribed, and I hope you guys are able to get out there and hike. Seems like they're lifting some of the restrictions, at least in my area, a little bit. So I'm hoping to go out and hike tomorrow, sometime this week anyway. Hope you guys are able to get out there and hike and enjoy nature and see some things you wouldn't see except for being on foot. Have a great week, guys. Thank you.